Welcome back everybody to part 3 of our Fuzzy Hug coloring adventure. I am so excited for today's episode. It is very, very cozy. It's not very fall or Christmassy, but I think you guys will really enjoy it anyways. These are the pages that we colored in part 1 and in part 2. So if you didn't have a chance to watch those, please go back and watch them. I think you'll really enjoy my process. In this episode, this is the page that we colored. It's blurred on purpose. I did that so you have to watch the full video in order to see the finished product. I hope you guys enjoy, and I am so excited to do another one. Let's go. Starting with our sky, I'm gonna go in with yellow, orange, in like a darkish red color, and we're gonna make it look like the sun is really shining through those clouds. Before we start our clouds, I'm gonna go in with 2 different shades of blue to finish off our sky. This is such a big area, and the trick with alcohol markers is to go over when the alcohol marker is still wet. That way you don't leave any streak marks, and that was definitely a little difficult for this big area. For our clouds, I'm going to go in with Sharpie's acrylic markers with yellow, orange, and white, and then a little bit of blue and a little bit of gray. The more texture we have, the more cloud-like they look. So closer to the sun, we keep it nice and orange and yellow. And as we veer out, I use more of the grays and blues. You're going to see I'm using a lot of blending techniques with our white acrylic marker to make sure everything looks fluffy instead of harsh. I'm trying my best to hide all of those harsh black cloud lines. When I think of clouds, I don't think of it having a harsh black outline. I think of fluffy and white and almost see-through, so I'm trying to hide those as best as possible to give it a more realistic feel. For our open space to add cloud dimension, I'm going to go through and smear a bunch of blobs to kind of mimic clouds. To really add to the realism, I'm going to take our white acrylic pen and smear it down, making it look like those bright sun rays shining through the clouds. Using a nice neutral light green color, I'm going to go in with our base layer for the grass and cover a good bit of area, leaving room for a nice picnic blanket in the middle. This is again one of those big areas where we have to be really careful about how we color it, that way we don't leave any streaks. I've seen a lot of advice online about avoiding streak marks, and their technique was to always go in the same direction. This is something I never do. I always go in the most haphazard way possible, and I have found that it honestly works for me, so I just keep doing it. It's not the most satisfying, but it does get the job done. While I wait for our base layer to dry, I'm going to go back into the sun with a white gel pen and kind of brush it out to add that shiny feel and to hide that harsh black line. Using a darker green, I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of dimension, making it look a little bit darker in the background. Using that same green, I'm going to go ahead and add in a lot of dot work to add in our shadows where they belong. Using a medium shade of green, I'm going to cover this last little hill, and I'm also going to go back through into our dot work with that green and kind of fade it out. I tried to be very haphazard with how I blended this out. I didn't want to have any harsh lines for the shading because I didn't feel like that would look very natural. Using our darkest green color, I'm going to go through and dot work our middle hill, and then using an even lighter green, I'm going to add more dot work to make sure it's really blended out. I think this technique made it look so much better. It makes it look really soft, which was definitely the goal that I had. Using an even darker green, we're going to go ahead and add that dot work to the very final background hill. Pink is my favorite color, so we're going to go in and add a lot of pink to our flowers. Using a super light green acrylic Sharpie marker, I'm going to go through and add a bunch of grass strokes. This adds a lot of dimension to our coloring. Using a pink acrylic marker, I'm going to go through and make it look like our whole field has the little flowers all over it. Just to add a little bit more variety, I'm going to go in with a yellow acrylic marker and do the same little flower dots. Using a darker green acrylic marker, I'm going to go through and hide our very obvious black lines that represent grass and adding a few haphazard grass strokes to make it blend. Next, for our trees, I wanted to go with the more of a pine look, so I'm going to use a very dark green and kind of make it look Christmas tree-y. Using our darker green of the acrylic marker, I'm going to go through with a medium layer, that way it pops a little bit more, and then using an even lighter green over top to add that final shine layer. I think this added so much dimension to our trees. For our windmill, I went with a very basic, nice dark brick color. And then while I wait for that to dry, I'm going to add in our dark blue base so it looks a little bit more shadowed for the background. I didn't like that this only had a couple bricks, so I added a few more to make it look a little bit more real. And then I'm going in with a micron pen to outline them and adding dot work all over it to give it more texture. For our windmill, I wanted it to be extra cozy, so I went in and made it very wooden, and then using a micron pen, I went in and added the little slats. That way it looks just a little bit more dimensional. For our picnic blanket, adding a little bit of yellow, I'm going to make a plaid design. I think doing a yellow one really brightens it up. It connects with our cute little yellow flowers on the grass, and it also ties in our sun shining down. We used so much yellow up there, I think it was the best color to make our blanket. The key to doing this is to make sure all of your layers are nice and dry in between. You're gonna also see I didn't go very even with our lines because you have to think that somebody's laying on this. It's a blanket, it's a soft object, it's not going to be perfect. Using Jelly Roll gel pens, I'm going to go through our white areas and add the little lines through it. And then in our yellow areas, I'm going to take Jelly Roll's white gel pen and do the same thing. Going through with our green acrylic marker, I'm going to make little strokes that look like grass up over our blanket. That way it really looks like our blanket is sunken into the grass. I think it makes it look a little bit more fluffy. Going in with a micron pen, I'm going to make it look like there's actual pages in this book, just to give it a little bit more dimension. And then we have this very lovely butterfly up here that our kitty cat is looking at. It was a little bit too plain for me, so I wanted to go through with our Jelly Roll gel pens and make a more realistic monarch butterfly. Like we didn't already have enough green, I'm going to make our kitty's sweater a nice dark green color. It's going to look like I'm being very haphazard with this, but I wanted it to look very knit and realistic, so things are going to get a little chaotic, but I think that in the end you'll see what I'm doing and you'll see how fluffy it looks. When I think of a cozy day outside, I think of a nice pair of blue jeans, so that's what I decided to do for her pants. While that dries, I'm going to add in a nice linen shirt for our puppy for under his overalls. Using a black colored pencil, I'm going to go through and add that jean texture and to make sure our zipper and pockets look very noticeable. This overall look was such a cute idea. I thought about it and I just could not resist doing it. I think it makes the page look even more cozy. I thought about doing red rubber boots for the shoes, but we didn't have a whole lot of red on our page and I felt like it would stand out too much, so I went with a nice neutral, warm tan color. And obviously they have to match their best friends. And then adding our overall details the same way we did our jeans with a colored pencil, really going through and making it look very textured. Our kitty is always a nice whitish gray striped, so I wanted to do the same thing because we are creating a story with our coloring book. I wanted to keep the characters exactly the same like we have done in the last 2 episodes. My coloring technique for all 3 have been a little bit different, and I think because it's been different lighting, different scenes, I think that it brings a little bit more variety to our coloring. But our kitty will always have her cute pink little bow. With the shape of our little bucket hat, I could not resist doing a little frog hat. I thought it was the cutest idea ever and it looks so good. And of course, we can't forget about our Bernese mountain dog. Going in with a nice rich brown and a really dark gray color, we are going to make him nice and fluffy. Going back to our kitty, we are going to start hiding all of the harsh black lines with a white gel pen, making her look nice and fluffy. I also love adding the white little shine mark in the eyes. I think it makes the characters look so much more alive. Now that our puppy is fully dried, we're going to go through and add a little bit of shadows. And then using a dark gray gel pen, we are going to go through and add in a lot of texture. Same thing with our white gel pen and a nice rich brown one. We are just going to go where the color is to match, making him look nice and fluffy. Adding in some final highlights and finishing up here, I think everything is finally coming together to really match the vision that I had for this page. This was definitely a quicker page, but I had so much fun doing it, and I think we added so many details. I am so happy with how this page turned out, and I really hope you guys are too. I am very excited to do the next one, so please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next episode.